In the heart of a bustling African village, nestled between the rolling hills and the shimmering waters of a vast lake, there lived a beautiful mermaid named Omiri. She was known far and wide for her enchanting beauty, with long flowing hair the color of the midnight sky and eyes that sparkled like the sun-kissed waters of the lake. Legend had it that Omiri possessed the power to bless barren women with children on every market day. The women of the village would make their way to the edge of the lake, offering gifts of fruits, flowers, and sweet-smelling incense in the hopes of catching a glimpse of the mysterious mermaid and receiving her divine blessing. Among the barren women who sought Omiri's blessing was a young woman named Adana. She had been married to her husband, Kofi, for many years, but despite their deep love for each other, they had yet to be blessed with a child of their own. Adana's heart ached with longing as she watched other women in the village cradle their babies in their arms, and she prayed fervently to Omiri for a miracle. One fateful market day, as the sun rose high in the sky and the village bustled with activity, Adana made her way to the edge of the lake, her heart heavy with hope and fear. The air was filled with the scent of incense and the sound of prayers whispered on the breeze as the women gathered around the water's edge, their eyes scanning the shimmering surface for any sign of the elusive mermaid. Suddenly, a soft, melodic voice filled the air, and the water began to ripple and churn as Omiri rose from the depths, her beauty breathtaking in the sunlight. The women gasped in awe as the mermaid's eyes met Adana's, and a smile played upon her lips. Adana, Omiri's voice was like music. Your prayers have been heard. You shall be blessed with a child, a daughter who will bring joy and light to your home. Tears of joy streamed down Adana's cheeks as she fell to her knees, overcome with gratitude. The other women cheered and clapped, their hearts filled with hope and wonder at the miracle they had witnessed. Months passed, and Adana's belly swelled with the promise of new life. The village buzzed with excitement as news of Omiri's blessing spread far and wide, and the women whispered in awe of the mermaid's wondrous powers. As the time drew near for Adana to give birth, a great storm swept across the land, filling the sky with dark clouds and the air with the sound of thunder. Adana's labor was long and difficult, and as the storm raged outside, she cried out in pain and fear, her heart heavy with doubt. But just as all seemed lost, a soft, soothing voice whispered in her ear, and Adana felt a cool hand upon her brow. Opening her eyes, she saw Omiri standing beside her, her eyes filled with compassion and love. "Fear not, Adana," the mermaid's voice was gentle as a lullaby, "for I am here to guide you through the storm." As the storm raged outside, a sense of peace settled within her, and she pushed with all her might, guided by the mermaid's gentle touch. And then, in a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, a cry pierced the air, loud and clear. Adana's heart swelled with joy as she gazed down at the tiny bundle in her arms, a beautiful baby girl with eyes as bright as the morning sun and a cry that filled the room with hope and promise. The women who had gathered outside the hut cheered and sang, their voices blending with the sound of the storm as they celebrated the miracle of new life. Omiri's blessing had come to fruition, and Adana's heart overflowed with gratitude and wonder at the power of the mermaid's magic. In the days that followed, the village came together to celebrate the birth of Adana and Kofi's daughter. The air was filled with the scent of cooking fires and the sound of laughter as the women prepared for the naming ceremony, a joyous occasion that would mark the child's entry into the world. Adana held her daughter close, her heart bursting with love as she gazed down at the tiny face that looked up at her with eyes full of wonder. She knew that her daughter was a gift from Omiri, a precious blessing that had brought light and joy into their lives. As the sun set over the village, casting a golden glow over the gathering, Adana stood before the crowd, her voice strong and clear as she announced her daughter's name to the world. "I name her Io," Adana's voice rang out, filled with pride and love, "for she is a joy and a blessing, a light in the darkness, a gift from the mermaid Omiri." The villagers cheered and clapped, their hearts filled with happiness and hope as they welcomed Io into the community with open arms. And as the stars twinkled in the night sky, casting their light over the village, the legend of Omiri and her miraculous blessings lived on, a testament to the power of love, faith, and the magic of the mermaid's touch.